I'm gon' ride, we gon' ride, who gon' slide, we gon' slide, they my guys, they my slimes.
Clip up the ride out.
I'm gon' ride, we gon' ride, who gon' slide, we gon' slide, they my guys, they my slimes.
All out when we ride out.
Right. The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Tyron Woodley calling Jake Paul a culture vulture. So they were doing their face-off, and during the face-off, Tyron Woodley basically had a moment where he called Jake Paul a culture vulture. Take a look.
Or bust down. Answer my question. I'm from Ferguson. I answer. How many people in your neighborhood dress like that? How many rap videos have you watched? Exactly. Culture. That's what I am. I lived it. They're rapping about my lifestyle. You a fucking joke. And you trying to vulture from it. Come Sunday, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get hit with a whole bunch of culture. And your whole jawline gonna shit, that long jawline, probably from PEDs.
Oh man.
So there you saw Tyron
What's up,
Woodley.
everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Roundhouse Radio. So obviously,
All right, so there you saw Tyron Woodley calling out Jake Paul for wearing these chains and portraying the image that he's basically saying isn't his. And then he asked him, how many rap videos have you watched? And you saw that pause. And so basically the other things, $1 bill, what's your reaction to Tyron Woodley calling Jake Paul culture vulture?
Okay, and we all know this, but that's what he want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, you know how many, like, I'm not even, and here's the funny thing, right? I don't want people to think that he's just saying this because he's white, because that's not the case either. There could be other people that don't come from that life. They could be culture vultures also. Like, I know y'all know guys that come from the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? But they want to act like they from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Or they want to act like they from something else. That's
the new news.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? They want to act like they, you know what I'm saying, they from a certain way, or they want to talk a certain way, but you can tell by their actions they're not with that. You know? Those are culture vultures. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in hip hop and the music industry. Y'all see how it now, like when, you know, people try to imitate what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Like how we talk, how we get down. Now you see other podcasters popping up when they trying to do the full. You got guys trying to talk like us and all that, use our slang. That's culture vulture. You know what I mean? You get it? Like, so I'm not mad at them. That's what the world is doing right now. The world is not original. Like when we came up, you had to be original. You know, you couldn't copy somebody else. You had to be original or you wasn't dope. You know, you get made fun of like, oh, you trying to sound like. Yo, you trying to sound like now in days you got like 12 guys that sound the same.
You can't make it if you don't sound like the same.
You can now. You gotta
sound different.
Yeah. Well, that's just, you know what? That's Tyron. You know what I mean? That's him. You know, he's showing his age there. He's showing his age there because you know that's how it used to be. You used to have to be from a certain place. When I was growing up, you know how when I wore chains and stuff. You had to be respected. You couldn't just wear a chain. You had to be respected, or people would take it. Now I'm seeing everybody with a chain. I'm like, it don't even make sense to wear my chain.
Yo, bro, and I'm let you rock. But you just said something. Yo, I went to get my hair cut, and my barber is this real frail dude, and you know my barber shop is in the hood, and he had a chain on in the middle of the hood, and I'm thinking like, bro. Not when I was coming up. One of your clients would have just snatched that off your neck
and be gone. And be gone. You had
with
to
the
be
shines on, brothers be looking like lunch meat.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Now it's different. It's different. Everybody culture vulture. You got them trying to do it on selling Cheerios and selling Frosted Flakes and all these other things. They try to tap it on doing little rap songs. Get your Frosted Flakes in your note. Chicka chick. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's doing it. That's just what the world has come to. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, like I'm not mad at him, man. If we sit here, we'll have a whole conversation. Maybe we need to do this on our other channel. But hey, listen, this is just what the world's coming to. He's just a young man trying to exploit the culture like everybody else does.
All right,
You know what I'm
conspiracy.
saying? So
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know much of Jake Paul prior to boxing, so I'm gonna assume that he is a culture vulture by his response. My man's mouth was wide open. He had no answer. He was froze up when Tyron was talking to him. So I'm assuming he is a culture vulture. Now, where me and Trill differ is I don't salute no culture vultures. I don't care if society's going through this. Like, let's just accept this. No, like, nah. And the reason why, and not to sound
no,
political,
I'm not accepting it. I'm like, I can't fight it.
It's like the new
It's
norm.
what it is,
oh,
bro.
it's
That's what it
inevitable.
It
I
is
got
what
New
it is.
norm.
is.
It is what it is. I can't fight it.
all
This
right, got
is what's going on, you know, in the world today. There's a lot of stuff that I just don't agree with, but it's just the way of the world. You know what I'm saying? I can't fight them all.
I'm gonna still put my foot. I'm gonna fight as many as I
There's more of them.
More of them. But I don't know. Maybe listen, I'm an '80s baby, so like when Trill was talking about you had to be original back then. It's true. You know, it was rare to hear two rappers even sound alike. You know, like, and not to mention your background mattered, right? If you from the suburbs, you better not act like you from the hood. People could smell it. So now it's just weird, like people who haven't went through struggle, fronting like they hard, and it's like, yo, bro, it's all right. You live the cute life. Embrace your cute life. You know what I'm saying? Like my kids are gonna live a cute life. I'm gonna smack them in the face if they try to walk like they hard.
100.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you can't live that life, bro. Like it's okay, man. It's like it's okay. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, come on, stop it, man. You got educated parents, man. You be all right, you know. So when I seen Jake Paul's response, that told me everything. And I do like what Trill also said about it's not because he's white. You know what I'm saying? Like I've actually seen white kids in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like there's this projects in Mattapan where literally there was like a white family and they sons was gangster. I'm not even joking. You know what I mean? It was weird, you know, but nonetheless, nobody could take that away from them. Like they lived in the hood, right? So they were a part of that culture. So, and I'm also thinking about like the rapper China Mac, right? China Mac, he's a hood dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can we say he's not a part of the culture when he's a part of the culture? You get what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with race. But literally, if you're not from there, don't try to front like you are, because now you're posing. So, and the fact that Woodley actually called him out on it, and he was like flabbergasted, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. That seemed like a sign of like white fragility right there. It's like you couldn't even be man enough to be like, yeah, I'm part of this culture. What? Do something. Yeah, like it caught him off guard, like left field. He's like, I was like, all right, bro, you good. Don't worry about it, man. But I'm not supporting that, man. So, you know, Jake, man, you be all right, bro. Just be yourself. Be the middle class or upper middle class white boy that you are. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, Ned the TVE.
Yeah, I know. I don't agree with culture vulture in the way society is now. You see the TikTok style of everything where everybody just does the same thing over and over. Even then, nobody tries to be different. So I wouldn't say Jake Paul tries to I heard he started off a Disney Channel. I never seen him on Disney. Him and his brother, they started off a Disney Channel, and then they blew up off of YouTube. But I wouldn't say like the talk. They don't try to talk, but they try to take the look. Like they were rappers. They do rap music. They did have songs with like Gucci Mane and things like that. They got their whole whatever their niche, and I thought it came from it came from hip hop. It came from rap. You could tell it was influenced by a certain culture. So I would say they stole the look, but the style they don't got our style. They just took the look. They don't got our style. That's all I could say. And shout out to Tyron for like stumping them right there and exposing that man. But yeah.
Wow, mind wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that some deep topics or some deep points were made, but I just want to elaborate on them a bit more. So, for example, I think one point Trill made that's important is it's not the fact that he's white. It's the fact that when he was asked, what rap videos have you watched? Or like, what rap music have you listened to? He froze. There lies the difference between someone who was white that grew up on hip hop culture. Because if you would have asked Eminem that, he would have been able to give you 1,000 names. He would have been able to dive into the history. And so there lies something different. And the hip hop culture isn't necessarily like that you're from the streets or that you portray the hood, but it's that you identify with the struggle. And the culture helped you get through the struggle. But when you look at Jake and what he's talking about, it's like you've been a YouTube star, you've been like sort of a pop star since you were a kid. So like, how can you identify with the struggle? And that's why you heard Tyron Woodley say, I'm from Ferguson. I rap about what I lived. Because it's one thing to say certain things, but when you actually lived it, living it gives you the license to speak on it. That's when it's real. So another example would be, you see a guy sitting in a seat talking to Tyron Woodley's mom and saying something that where we're from, we all are really from the mud. We know that there's respect. No one would say that to the dude's mom like that. However, they do it because like they're portraying something that necessarily isn't them. But the other thing is Jake's there with a bunch of dudes calling it his squad. Okay, Jake, let's take a look at your squad. Jayleon Love. You grew up hanging with Jayleon Love? You were in the trenches with Jayleon Love? How long have you known Jayleon Love? Because I know Jayleon Love when he was a boxer in Floyd Mayweather's boxing gym, doing all these videos, predicting fights, talking, when he was actually undefeated until he started getting washed by people. I never saw you with him one time. So who's your guy? Flores? Okay, cool. I remember when Flores was fighting, and I would see Flores commentating and training and everything. Never saw you there, Jake. So you have a team full of people who are only surrounding you because they can eat off of you.
The bag. And
that's your squad. And they only tolerate you acting a certain way that they wouldn't tolerate someone else posing that way if they couldn't eat off of them, because exactly, you're paying them, bro. You are paying their bills.
Yo,
so they're not going to say anything to you. They're not going to. What I find funny, though, is not only is this dude being a culture vulture, you guys missed it. You missed it. I'm going to bring it to you, bring it back to your attention. He saw Floyd wearing chains like that. Remember, Floyd came to the fight super icy, looking like Junebug from I'm going to Get You Sucker, right?
How do you go to the bathroom with all that on?
He said, I like that. I want to do that. But this is how you know it's posing, right? Floyd, everyone knows Floyd. Floyd makes it no secret. Like, he walks around with bodyguards. Jake, if you're not a culture vulture, this is the culture vulture challenge. I dare you to walk through the hood. Any hood in America. Well, actually, any hood in New York. Hell, any hood in Boston. With those chains on at 9 at night. No security. Walk through the hood. I mean, like walk through the entire hood and leave with those chains. And then you really about that life. What I know, what Trill knows, what G knows, what we all know is no one who comes from that culture would ever walk around with them chains like that. You're asking for it. And I have friends. I have a friend, rest in peace, Clinton, who died over his chain. And it wasn't even worth a fraction of that. Robbed him. They wanted to rob him. He wouldn't give up his chain. And they killed him. That's what Tyron Woodley's talking about. So, like, to portray that and not have that roots, to not understand, to not That's what he's talking about. So let's be clear while we're on the show, because I know I listen to rock music. I listen to some country music. I listen to
Bring it all on my roots. I showed up in boots.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, you just perfect. Someone tries to say, if someone hears me listening to that and tries to say, well, you're a culture vulture, what you know about country music? Say, okay, well, I'm listening to my man, Garth Brooks. I can go throw on Tennessee whiskey from my man Chris Stapleton. If I want to, I can listen to that. If I want, I can listen to Tequila from my man Dan and Shay if I wanted to. Like, I can name you songs that I actually listen to from country music. Like, because I'm not just like doing it or trying to act like I listen to rock music. You say to me like, oh, well, what rock songs have you listened to? I'm gonna tell them, yeah, I've been listening to rock my whole life. But really, as an adult, the rock songs that I started to like started with Maroon 5, like Sunday Morning, like She Will Be Loved, This Love. Then I started listening to
love taking it.
Then I started listening to The Afraid. Then I started branching out to like harder stuff like Taking Back Sunday, all types of stuff. But the point I'm making to you is I can give you the history of me listening to this music, all music. Like, I can get into reggae, I can get into that. We don't got that much time. But my point is, you couldn't call me a vulture because I can actually tell you, I dare someone say like, oh man, like you don't know about the history. When did you start listening to this? I'd be like, are you kidding me? Go to my phone. Let me tell you when this dude was like, so that's the issue. But
all I got is a country playlist. That's all I got. That's what motivates me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, I got a playlist of all kinds of music. I listen to all kinds of music because to me, you look at some of the songs that like Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. It's a country song that she did over, and there's a lot of songs like that. And music's that way, so it's okay. But the point is, when you got called out, you couldn't. It's not just the fact that the music you're listening to. It's the fact that you got an entourage of orange shirts that are going to swarm that you didn't even grow up with them. Those ain't your boys like that. You met them for business purposes, and now y'all walking around like gang.
That's what people got to understand. Money don't make you real. I'm going to say that again. Money don't make you real.
Trill pointed this out too. You see us 4 faces on a screen that are all connected, that all interact with each other. This isn't, oh, I got a channel, you got a channel, they got a channel, so let's just all get together now and try to do a panel. That ain't what this is. This is 4 guys who really talk boxing all the time. So we had to stop because we were like, we couldn't enjoy events we were at because we arguing boxers. So we said we gotta do one day where we can just get together. I'll close with this, like, just because that's why, like, people can say whatever they want. Now, I know, like, some people be like, oh, like, y'all, that's whatever. We don't even talk about it. We got over 4 million views. Over 4 million views. We do a show 1 day a week. We ain't talking about it. Some people like, oh, well, your channel don't get as much traffic as this channel. We didn't do this for the traffic. We was doing this when we getting 35 views a video. We didn't care. It was about what we was doing. Because that's real. Now y'all are watching. We love it. We love y'all. We interact with y'all. And even then, we ain't trying to bleed your pockets for money and for this.
Let's do a stupid shit
down your face. Or
give me
whatever.
$20.
Yeah.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all be like, turn on the chat. We turn on the super chat. We think about it. We're like, cool. But then at the end of the day, we're like, we ain't trying to charge nobody kicking with us. We just kicking it. Now, if we had something we want to do, like, yo, we trying to get to Vegas for this fight. Yo, if y'all want to pitch in, we turn on the chat, then cool. But we ain't trying to make y'all pay just simply as whatever. Because that's how we were. That's real. This whole new wave of stuff, like, we ain't with all that. So, like, understand where we're coming from isn't a place of disrespect. It's not about race. It's not about this. It's simply about how you are as a person, how you act as a person. Like, are you portraying an image that's true to your identity? If we reviewed your life, if we audited your life, would it match up to the person we see sitting on the screen in that seat on that day? That's what we're talking about.
Principles.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. For real, let us know how you feel. And check us out on Instagram and Twitter. No, check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And check out our podcast on all major streaming services. You know who you rocking with. It's the Boxing Bros.
You're welcome. You're all welcome.